Hello there, time for a big Glossier makeup catch-up. We'll chat through some recent launches and new to me formulas I brought back from 2 trips to London in the last year, even some bits from LA the year before that I haven't filmed with yet. You can see a mini tour of Glossier's London flagship, their most popular store in the world, in my recent Matilda on tour travel vlog. I'll link below if you fancy browsing with me in real time. Apart from my enduring love for boy brow, you'll know there aren't that many Glossier products that have hung on in my regular routine and therefore in my videos over the past 5 years or so. The only product I religiously restock alongside boy brow is After Balm, the most underrated product in their entire range in my mind. This moisture barrier recovery cream is the richest, balmiest, cocoon-like texture to lock in the rest of your routine and seal in moisture like slugging, but it melts in so it doesn't feel too heavy or thick. I wake up the next morning with skin that still feels soft and hydrated, so it's become a winter and all year round essential for me. I've been reading Glossy recently, Marissa Meltzer's book on the founder, Emily Weiss, and the rise of the brand. If you've ever wondered what I do with the cutouts from my very old wishlist videos, they're perfect bookmarks. Anyway, the book has definitely made me reflect on that Glossier millennial pink mindset so many of us were locked into in the mid to late 2010s. So I wanted to run through what a complete makeup routine from the brand would look like for me today, mostly playing with newer formulas and finds. Very interested to hear what your interest in Glossier looks like these days. Based on the shelves at Mecca in Australia, it's still fairly high here, but we were deprived of the brand for almost a decade. It only launched here last July, so it might be different for you overseas. Let me know. Let's get into base. Very late to the stretch fluid foundation party, but as someone who typically isn't drawn to foundation unless it's sheer and skin-like, I believed Glossier was a brand who'd get that right given their roots, and I was right. If you're not usually a foundation wearer, this could be the formula for you. In fact, if you'd like me to film a video on non-foundation foundations, let me know. I love how even and glowy my skin looks in this, but it still looks like my skin. It comes in 32 shades, I wear light 4, but only use about half a pump of any base product really to keep it light on the skin. For a touch more coverage, or on days when I skip base makeup and want a quick all-over skin fix with a multitasking product instead, Glossier Stretch Balm Concealer holds up. This expanded to match the foundation's 32 shade range. I dab light 4 either side of my nose, on my chin, forehead, anywhere I want to even out redness in a no makeup kind of way. More on that topic very soon. This gives your complexion a boost without looking heavy. It's dewy and breathable. I think one of their best, closest to their original style launches in recent years is Future Dew Solid, which dropped in February this year while I was in London, so I picked it up there. Even as someone who loves a glow, I found the original Future Dew oil serum too thick and glossy to apply all over my face. I preferred to concentrate it as a highlighter, but this was made to make that easier. A hydrated, natural sheen with super fine peachy shimmer that isn't obvious, just adds to the subtle, pearly, dewy glow. Nice to finally meet Cloud Paint Bronzer. There was a whole separate Solar Paint Bronzer in between, but this bronzing sister to the Cloud Paint blushes launched in February last year with a better spread of shades. Sail shears out to look naturally sun-kissed on my forehead, cheekbones, a little bit on the bridge of the nose. My only personal bone to pick is the packaging. I just prefer stick or compact bronzers for ease of application, but this is fine if you start with a tiny dot blended between your fingertips, then onto your skin. Speaking of cloud paint, it's time to get into Puffgate. I didn't even know that was what it was called until one of you used that phrase recently, but I first noticed people talking about the original pale pink blush Puff changing colour as far back as 2021 or 2022, I think. My original is ancient, definitely the original colour here, but this Puff I picked up in LA last year is not the same girl. This is not even just a slight difference, that's a completely different colour. Current Puff is far more peachy than it used to be, so much so that it's actually closer to Beam, their actual peachy shade. So now I'm wishing I bought a new Beam as well in case that has changed too. No idea what in the reformulation world happened here, and it is by no means new news, but I wanted to share an official swatch record of the colour change on my channel at last. So hang on to your original Puffs, they're basically a collector's item now. Not too much to report in the eye department. I shared the chunky eye crayon I picked up in my new makeup finds video, so you can head over there for that swatch. But as a berry lover for my green eyes, I was happy to see this #1 pencil shade Black Cherry join the family in January. #1 pencil is not a hero product for the brand. I rarely see anyone speaking about the formula, but I like it. The pop of lavender and muted mint are so fun in summer, but this burgundy metallic red is more of a wearable shade for me in my usual sneaky way. If you keep it close to your lash line, you almost won't be able to tell it's burgundy, but it makes your eyes pop a lot more than black or brown liner. Definitely leaning towards brown mascara these days, leaning so far over I've completely fallen for the category. Even though I typically like a lot of volume on the lashes, I've mentioned in the past year that I've come to appreciate the art of fluttery, barely there. Oh, my lashes just look like this naturally, mascaras, and Glossier Lash Slick belongs in that group. This brown just looks like an enhanced, lengthened version of your natural lashes. The lip line pencils launched last summer during my last visit to London, so I could swatch the whole bunch and have a few for you to compare. These come in 8 true-to-life shades to find your lips but better match. Grey's is called a tawny peach, but it's a little rosy too. This one's the most natural on me. I also went for Buff, the toasted almond, and the only beigey lighter brown in the range. Then Flush is a deep cognac berry brown for a really rich, bitten lip look. This colour looks delicious, shading softly all over the lips, then blending with a stick balm, creamy, long wearing, so you can soften and blur these before they set and stay put. Also wanted to show you one of the most recent lip gloss shades. 3 joined the group in September last year, but the best newbie, Brown, a great sheer chocolatey addition to the family to rival Dior's Mahogany empire. This catches the light and makes your lips look ridiculously glassy. I don't know, I'll always just have a soft spot for this formula as a classic gloss thanks to its old school, thicker feeling without being too sticky. One of the latest balm.com shades, Black Cherry, is not just a new flavour, it's a legitimate tint, and finally a replacement for the original Cherry Red, just deeper this time. A sweet Allen's Lollies red jelly snakes sent to me, or an almond cookies and cherry liqueur sent to the official Glossier copywriters. Comparing this to one of my favourite balm.com's, Hot Cocoa, which was a lot more chocolate brown. Limited edition, but it has been known to randomly reappear on their website in winter. That's a wrap on this Glossier roundup. Let me know if any of these products have made it home with you too or caught your eye here. Interested to hear if the brand is still on your radar or what you think they should launch to recreate the height of their hype, if they can still do that with so many other minimal brands in the space now. If you're not into them anymore, please share what you're using instead. Thanks for watching. See you next time.